Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another chapter of Perfect Sun. I don't think I really have anything to say today, so I hope you guys enjoy. Perfect Sun by That One Guy with That One Ship. Read by Munchin on Mochiko. Chapter 13. Tumbled into a Grave. The two had yet to form any sort of plan. "Gladian, how do we get him back?" Lily asked. "You don't." The voice was their mother. She had just appeared in the doorway. The way she stood beneath the soft gold light cast a greenish glow onto the surrounding doorframe, refracting from the crystal on her chest. Lucine's heel clicked as she took a step forward. "This is our new family." She gestured to the siblings. "All of us. You, me, Sun." The light moved with her like a warning. It may have been green, but it was far from positive. "If you can't accept that, then you're the problem. You're the vermin." "Mother, you're not right," Lily scowled. "Sun was his own person, He was nothing but what I chose to make him." Her gesture towards them was now an arm held outward theatrically, as if encompassing the world. "I have set him free." "Mother, do not call me mother, you insect." She was continuing to pace the room, which seemed to be closing around them. There wasn't enough space. Lily remained defiant in the face of her mother's words. "I don't care what you do to me. I'm going to help "Silence," Lucine demanded. The shout echoed through the room and down the corridor. "You were imperfect. I deserve what I want. I want Sun, and I do not want you." "Then why did you bring us back, Mother?" "To make a point. You can go, you can stay, so long as you don't interfere with my son. You can do what you please. I did this to show you what you could have had. My love." A look of bliss crossed her face. "I love him with all my being. You, however," the look vanished as fast as it appeared. "You have to earn it." "How can we?" Lily asked. She was willing to do anything, much as Sun had before her, to manipulate the situation. Escape. Sun had pretended to return her affection. Lily may just have to do the same to set Sun free. Lucine's shock at Lily's question was evident. "What is this?" Her tone had a dry amusement running through it. "Are you willing to change, Lily?" She leaned down in front of her daughter. Lily didn't move. "Well?" "Yes, Mother." Lily met the stare evenly. Lucine didn't say anything, searching Lily's soul. Her green eyes darted back and forth, scanning, prying. "Is that so?" Lucine questioned. "Yes, Mother. I want to be as perfect as Sun, as you." Gladian hadn't said anything, but Lily's words were not gelling with him. He wasn't about to pretend anything. He was going to resist. Damn it. "Oh, Lily." Lucine spoke as if in slow motion. "Then you have a lot to learn. And how about you, Gladian? Will you follow Sun's example?" Gladian shook his head. "Like hell." Lucine smirked. "Always so stubborn. Leave, then." Lily and Gladian both recognized that she had echoed Lily's words earlier. Perhaps Gladian was right to compare them. "No, I have to help him," Gladian said. "Do you not understand?" Lucine grabbed Lily by the scruff of his hoodie, dragging him to his feet. "He is beyond your help. What you call help is simply undoing his happiness." Gladian struggled in her hold, but she kept a firm grip on him. You are pathetic. She tossed him away with enough force to make him fall flat onto his backside. She cast a foreboding shadow over him. Mother, how did you change, son? Lily asked, distracting Lucine's attention. With a lot of hard work. Work that, in the end, was worth it. You still have to promise yet, Lily. Maybe I'll do the same to you. Lucine loomed over them both, Gladian still on the ground. I'll be back later to bid you both good night. That is, if dear Gladian hasn't left by then. And Lily, maybe you can learn something from son. How to make your mother happy. The implication of what she had said hung in the air. She must have broken son utterly and completely to have molested him the same way she had molested them in their youth. Lily's expressionless mask flickered with horror, and Lucine was satisfied to see the reaction to the statement. She left, her dress following behind her elegantly with the speed at which she moved. They heard her go to Son's room, speak to Son, and her voice was so shockingly gentle and kind to him, as if it was their mother, who had made their whole lives terror, was a model parent. Are you feeling well? They didn't hear his reply. What do you think? Pause. Son's reply. Your brother and sister. Pause. Lucine was only speaking so loudly so that Lily and Gladian could hear her disdain for them. I wouldn't be so sure. Pause. Gladian dropped his head, hanging it, staring into his lap. Angry. Life had dealt them the worst possible hand. Ignored, afraid, hated. Lily focused on listening. No, son, no. Pause. Not today, son. I'm still very tired from last time. That could mean many things, but Lily and Gladian were both drawn to the same conclusion. Son was initiating the lovemaking, not Lucine. He was as good as gone, dead, replaced by this slave in his body. The siblings both felt the shackles of defeat. Utter, crushing hopelessness clicked into them. Inescapable. Son was gone. They were next. See you later, son. Pause. I love you too. Like a harpoon through her heart. It hurt. It hurt so badly. The rejection of their mother, followed by the acceptance of a child who wasn't even her own. A child who never wanted to be hers, who was now doomed to grow under her tyranny. Someone who had once had what it took to beat her. They were helpless. Son was lost. All was dust. Son was sat in the middle of his bed, wrapped in his bedsheets like a swaddaloon. He felt so comfy. His mother had just visited. He loved her so much, just like how she loved him. She had asked about his brother and sister, what he thought of them, and how they were around him. He was just happy to meet them. He wanted to be alone with her again, but he knew he'd have to share now. He didn't want to, but he knew that his mother would want to show all three of them equal amounts of love. And he wasn't going to stop her. Oh, no. The door creaked and he twisted, his duvet cocoon shifting with him. His sister had just come in. Hey, son, she greeted. I wanted to talk to you. Is that okay? Son nodded. Lily was smiling. When she had entered, it had just been a purely false smile to get him to feel comfortable with her. But upon seeing him wrapped up in the white duvet, it became genuine. Sun would absolutely do something like that if he saw it as practical for some goal, such as warmth or comfort. "How are you feeling?" Lily asked innocently. She kept the directive in the back of her head, just to scout the damage that had been done to Sun. If Lucine was somehow listening, Lily would have to be careful with exactly what she mentioned. "I'm okay," Sun said nonchalantly. "What about you?" She sat on the bed beside him, delicately. I'm okay," she replied. How have you been while we were away?" "I've been fine. Mother didn't tell me a lot about you," Sun admitted, "but I like you." He shuffled up beside her and threw off the duvet. Lily didn't look at him. He paused. "Lily?" "Why didn't Mother tell you about us?" Lily took Sun's now pale hand. It was quite familiar. Whenever Sun had wanted to rush off to the next route on their journey across Alola, he had taken her hand and run at a sprint that she could barely keep up with. She said you weren't trustworthy," Sun admitted. "But," he said quickly, "but I like you," he repeated. He squeezed her hand reassuringly. "I think you're great." Lily wasn't at all hurt by Lucine's comments regarding her. She just smiled at Sun. "Thank you, Sun." "What did you do before you left that made Mother so mad?" Sun asked. Lily took a deep breath. "I think it's best not to tell you. Let Mother tell you," Lily sighed. She clung to Sun's hand still. "What do you think about Mother?" Sun asked. "Isn't she perfect?" He seemed most excited to discuss Lucine, reminding Lily that he was effectively hers, in body, mind, and soul now. She's never been too kind to me or Gladian." Understatement of the century. "But I'm glad she's treated you well." "What did she do to you?" Lily wasn't ready to answer, so she pushed the question away. "Not now." Are you okay?" Sun question was hesitant. He was leaning against her now. He'd never had much any sense of personal space. It was never malevolent, though. He always stuck to Lily like his comfort, rather than any sort of romantic feeling. Whenever his usually unshakable conviction regarding battle was challenged, he'd need a rock to balance himself on, and Lily or Hal were usually the ones that he requested to be by his side. He didn't think like how they did. He was different. While training Pokemon, he was laid back and fun-loving, rolling around with them as he taught them moves and told them that they were his best friends he could hope for. While battling, he was an adult far beyond his years. The smile vanished. He didn't blink. He was in a zone that could not be broken. There were some stories of children, young prodigies who went beyond and destroyed whatever system was in place to challenge them. Sun was becoming one. And then he was gone. To Po Town to face Team Skull, and that was the end of it. Lily had been ejected by the Aether Foundation, and Gladian had put aside any grudges he held towards Sun. Gladian, Sun, and Hal had stormed Paradise, fought their way to Lucine's trophy room, and Sun himself had saved Nebby before the Cosmic opened the gateway to the ultraspace. Disaster struck. Lucine had lost it. Gladian, Hal, and Lily had the good sense to run for the hills, but Sun didn't think how they did. He had gone to battle her. The last thing she was interested in was battling with Pokemon. It was the last time Lily had ever seen Sun as he was, smacked across the face, reeling back, his eyes meeting hers as she escaped the room. She didn't want to leave him. Gladian had dragged her away. He may have said something. She wouldn't know. She could recall the moment in photographic detail, the cool air cascading off the frozen Pokemon beneath the Paradise, the too bright room and how it made her giddy. Sun reaching for a Pokeball as Lucine marched towards him, enraged. The sound of contact as she knocked Sun down. Lily blinked away the stark, burning images. She realized she was crying. "I'm okay," she whispered to Sun, her voice barely audible. I'm okay." But Lily, she was startled by the feeling of him letting go of her hand and moving it to her thigh, just below the hem of her dress. "You're crying." That kind of contact was very unusual to Sun. He'd never done anything close to sexual, and this was just over the line she was comfortable with. Lily worried that Lucine had affected his boundaries. He clearly didn't understand that the contact could be wrong. He was only concerned with her emotion. "Sun," she moved his hand away, knocking it off. I'm fine." She held her breath and the crying stopped. Sun pulled the duvet back around him defensively. Lily somehow felt guilty. "It's just, I didn't expect you to be like this when we met again." It played into Lucine's story and her own. "Like what?" he asked. Lily couldn't answer. She took Sun by the shoulder, casting off the thick blanket, and kissed him on the cheek. Sun blushed. I'll talk to you later." Lily left him there, in a world of confused and blurred emotion. She was ashamed of herself. He wasn't Sun anymore. He was something else. He was her brother, not her best friend. And Lucine's plan may be deeper than it first seemed, because Lily felt like she was losing herself too. So yeah, that was chapter 13. I hope you guys enjoyed that chapter as always. I can definitely see some foreshadowing happening here, and it's just like making me really excited / like dread future chapters, if you know what I mean. Also, I hope that like my reading today didn't feel like off, because it was like, it's off for me since one of my roommates is here today, and I usually record while they're at work, so I kind of like didn't go as in as I usually would, because I don't know, it just feels weird when other people are here. But yeah, besides that, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys with another chapter.